Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Israel Brief. Yes, it's that time of the day where we take a look at the top stories making headlines. And just a reminder, they're brought to you by Lay of the Land. And I'm your host and Lay of the Land co-founder, Rolene Marks. So let's take a look at those top stories. And we begin with the IDF that struck targets within the Gaza Strip last night. Now, this is in response to over 20 incendiary balloons that were fired from the Strip into Israeli territory, burning thousands of dunams of very, very valuable nature reserve and agricultural land. Yesterday, firefighters battled to put out the flames. It is also very, very hot here in Israel, the middle of summer, so that exacerbated the situation. This is the first time since the ceasefire was put into place that there was an exchange of fire across the border, and Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said that we will treat this as we would treat rocket attacks, and we will not tolerate any incendiary devices, any violations or acts of terror on Israeli sovereign territory. Now, this all took place with the background of the flag march that happened in Jerusalem last night, highly controversial. However, the march passed more or less peacefully. There were about 27 Palestinians reported injured in clashes with police and about 17 arrested. However, the fault didn't lie just on one side. Despite the presence of thousands of police officers, members of the flag march, maybe in the more extreme right wing, also chanted death to Arabs, and this has been roundly condemned by Israelis from all walks of life. In fact, Foreign Minister Yair Lapid took to Twitter immediately and he said it is absolutely disgraceful. He said not only is it a violation of our flag, because of course it was the flag parade, but it is also not Jewish and definitely not Israeli. In other news, last night the White House announced that Thomas Nides will be the next envoy from the USA to Israel. Thomas Nides is a former State Department official with links to both Secretary of State Antony Blinken as well as former President Barack Obama. Now, he still has to go before the Senate to be confirmed. However, it is unlikely that there will be any opposition to his being voted in. A group has warned former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that if he does not vacate the Balfour residence, which is the Prime Minister's official residence, by the 27th of June, he could face a Supreme Court petition. The former president, or the former prime minister rather, is still in residence there, and earlier this week he hosted a delegation that was made up of former ambassador to the United Nations from the US, Nikki Haley, as well as Christian United for Israel's pastor Haggai, that's Kufi. And Naftali Bennett, who is our current Prime Minister, has made his preference to stay in Ra'anana so as not to disturb the school routine of his children. But there has been an increase in calls for former Prime Minister Netanyahu to vacate the Balfour residence. And our last story is absolutely historic. We have our first deaf member of Knesset who was sworn in today. Shirley Pinto took her oath using sign language, and it was a very, very emotional moment for all of us in Israel, very proud moment. And this, the 36th Knesset in Israel, is possibly one of the most inclusive and diverse that Israel has had in its history, and counts at least 9 women amongst the 27-member cabinet. We wish them all b'hatzlacha. But if you're looking for stuff to read, look no further than our website at www.layoftheland.online. I'll have an article up there later today or tomorrow taking a look at how the conflict is being played out against identity politics. And it will be up on our Facebook page. While you're on our Facebook page, we have Dave Kaplan's article on Isaac Herzog. He's our new president coming in next month. Please give us a like or a follow and share our content. We really appreciate it when you do. Share this very brief that you might be watching there. We're also on YouTube at the Israel Brief. Click on that red subscribe button, and of course, we're part of the Twitterati on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5. That's at Lay of the Land 5. So if you haven't followed us, click that follow button and interact with us. Let's have a conversation. So with the Wednesday edition of the Israel Brief, I'm Rolene Marks in a swelteringly hot and humid Israel, wishing you a safe and healthy rest of your day. And we'll join each other tomorrow for the final broadcast of the week. Take care.